Hi all, welcome back to Indeed IAS. Let's begin the discussion.
In this video, we shall look at the topic from the Hindu Editorial. The topic is Culture and Peace. Very recently, the United Nations General Assembly meeting was conducted. In that meeting, India has strongly condemned the UNAOC resolutions on the subject of culture of peace. India said that the resolutions are very selective, that is, very discriminatory, or else it is favoring certain sections of religions against other section of religions. Now, before jumping directly into the topic, what are those religions which are being favored and why other religions are ignored, let's look at the UNAOC. The UNAOC, which stands for United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, it was established in 2005. It's a political initiative of Mr. Kofi Annan, who was the former United Nations Secretary General. Now, the objective of the establishment of this UNAOC is to explore the roots of polarization between societies and cultures. Now, let me explain this. We all know that the world is encompassed with so many diverse cultures, societies, isn't it? Each society and culture has its own historical background, which is very important from their own perspective. Unfortunately, there was an element of intolerance among certain societies and cultures. This intolerance towards other societies and cultures had created a divisiveness, that is the roots of polarization. And this has created lots of conflicts among different societies and cultures. For instance, if you take the case of the Islamic religion, many societies and countries have a negative perception towards this religion, especially from the Western countries like France. In other words, this is called Islamophobia, and such similar negative perceptions towards other societies like Christianophobia, anti Semitism, etc. Now, the UNAOC resolves to bridge the differences between these societies and cultures. By doing so, the cross cultural relations between diverse nations and communities will be strengthened, and all these diverse nations will live in peace and harmony. That's the only sole objective of UNAOC. In fact, the UNAOC has been inspired from the culture of peace. In fact, this term was coined for the first time in 1999 UNGS resolution, which is the Declaration and Program of Action on Culture of Peace. And the United Nations has given a definition, an official definition has been given, which is a set of values, attitudes, modes of behavior, and ways of lives that reject violence and prevent conflicts by tackling their root causes to solve the problems through dialogue and negotiation among the individual groups and nations. So, this is the official definition of culture of peace. That means the culture of peace aims at resolving any disputes or differences between any two cultures or societies through the dialogue and negotiation format rather than going by destructive mode. So, the formation of UNAOC ultimately has been inspired from this culture of peace resolution only. While the objective is excellent, but unfortunately, the resolutions that are being made through this organization are not being applicable commonly. Means they, according to India's stand, these resolutions are in favor of certain religions rather than covering all the religions. This is what India refers to the selectivity, that is, hatred towards Abrahamic religions like Islamism, Christianity, Judaism. Once again, let me repeat them: Islamism, Christianity, as well as finally the religion of Judaism. On the other hand, the hatred towards other religions or the attacks on the other religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism are not being taken into account. In fact, these religions also suffered lots of terror strikes and seen their shrines destroyed in the countries like Afghanistan and Pakistan. And here, India particularly accuses Pakistan for promoting its culture of hatred, particularly against the religions in India, which is in fact strengthening the cross border terrorism. And finally, India said that UN resolutions continues to favor certain religions against other religions instead of bridging the differences between societies and cultures. It will further polarize the societies and cultures. And finally, why India has made serious comments on this? Because there are series of incidents that are trying to bully India for different reasons. For instance, Pakistan is trying to put India in bad light by saying that India's policies, for example, like the Citizenship Amendment Act, is discriminatory towards one religion, that is Muslims. Actually, the intentions of Pakistan is different. As India is going to take the United Nations Security Council membership from 2021 to 2022, Pakistan wants to create a bad image on India. So India has very blatantly opposed this. And the UNAC also expressed its grave concern regarding the Delhi riots that took place in February 2020, which says that in these riots, mostly Muslims have been killed. So it is in this context, India has to take very serious on these notes. And finally, India said that India always upholds the constitutional ethos, which are secularism, which means equal treatment of all religions, and pluralism, which means coexistence of different kinds of cultures and religions. And that's it regarding this topic. This topic will fit under GS1 paper of UPSC mains. Topics like secularism, societies, cultures are covered under paper 1 only. In fact, if you look at the question asked in 2014, a question of comparison, that is, Indian secularism has been asked to compare with the Western secularism. So this question carried 10 marks. And similar question we can expect on this topic that we have discussed now, that is like discuss the relevance of UNAOC in the context of India's remarks for the UNAOC's selective resolutions. So again, if they ask for 150 votes or 10 marks, you can write the objective of UNOC, and then you can explain what are the primary concerns and criticisms on this organization, and also finally you can come up with a way forward. So what kind of reforms have to be brought in to realize the actual objective of the UNOC, like that. That's it.